Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality with the best hair. And it's finally week... 13. Damn. Well, it's the last week of... Fuck that.
The Summer of Sylvester Stallone!
Yeah, I can do that voice, girl cat. Going out with a bang, the final review of the summer will be the Expendables 3. That's exciting, right? Maybe it doesn't help that I already did the other two in the series. Or it does. I can't tell. But it's after the Expendables surprised the movie going public with the fact that half the actors could still be ultra badasses on the big screen, and the Expendables 2 upped the ante in almost every way, concentrating on fun over depth. The Expendables 3 was sure to get a green light so long as Lionsgate liked the idea of making a ton of money on an established franchise with a strong fan base. Of course, that's not to say it's just a generic sequel. There are quite a few things changed up this time around, even those that you would consider to be central to the concept of what makes an Expendables movie. Such as the fact that while there are a few veteran actors who show up for the first time in this iteration, the main focus is bringing in a bunch of fresh, young faces. How fresh? Well, this is the first feature film for several of them. That's not to say they're complete unknowns. Ronda Rousey, for instance, was an established MMA fighter years before she was brought onto the set to play Luna. But hey, I'm sure all these new faces will have plenty of one-liners to give, referencing some esoteric moments in college. Anyway, let's take a look at the Expendables 3 and see if it can keep the excitement up and the blood pumping for 2 whole fucking hours. The film opens to an armored prison transport. In case you don't realize this, they tell you anyway. Of course, before we can go into too many details, we see that the Expendables are already on the scene. Or at least a somewhat convincing simulation. Either way. Might be why the video game tie-in was the retro-styled Expendables. I'm pretty sure that the Mad Max video game actually has better CGI than this. Stallone, now completely clean-shaven, meaning if they do an Expendables 4 he'll have to ditch the eyebrows, leads the team in an attack on the train, even though they already set up the trap to clear the roof before the showdown. Or maybe that was just meant to clear the bodies off so they could land, I don't know. Either way, a few of them board the train, taking out the few remaining guards and securing the prisoner.
Let's go.
Damn, Charles Manson got one hell of a tan. Rather, this is Doc, played by Wesley Snipes, though he's still a bit loopy, not taking the escape chopper, but heading up the train cars to kill the rest of the guys, speed this thing up, and give his captors one final fuck you before he leaves. Well, that's an exciting opening. I mean, I guess it wasn't nearly as good as his second movie, but it's still good. It's still good. As it happens, Doc was a member of the team way back when with Barney. He's been away for a damn long time, though, as he doesn't recognize anyone but Stallone and isn't so happy to learn that all the other old members are dead as shit. Truth be told, Stallone wanted him in the previous Expendables movies to play Hail Caesar, but he couldn't leave the US to film at the time because he would need the court's permission to do that.
So why'd you get locked away?
Tax evasion.
Well, in the movie that's a joke as Doc was imprisoned for attempted assassination, but in reality that's exactly the kind of trouble that Wesley Snipes was in that prevented him from participating until now. While Ross and company did just rescue him, they don't have any time to waste with getting back to civilization so the man can find out Sega doesn't make consoles anymore, we're on PlayStation 4 now, and there are people out there who actually think that the Ordi 1886 was worth $60. More important than any of that, though, they have to stop a weapons deal in some bumfuck part of the world.
You know, why didn't you just pick me up on your way back?
We're a man short.
Look, just accept the group invite. You'll get more XP that way than soloing. And we set loot to round robin. When they reach their destination, the main group meets up with Caesar, providing transport and some cover fire from the river.
The hell is that?
This bitch will solve all your problems.
Yeah, maybe for 10 seconds. Before it blows his wad.
That depends on the amount of ammunition he brought with. Surely he wouldn't be stupid enough to only bring 500 rounds with a weapon that fires 3,000 RPM, would he? Once they reach their destination, this gives us the perfect opportunity to see just what Snipes will bring to the team.
It was all under control.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
No, not that part.
Oh, Sally, the man attacked me with a knife.
He's still kicking ass and cracking jokes. Makes me feel like I should track down more of the man's movies to review. Taking control of a nearby crane, Doc transports the rest of the team to a nice spot overlooking the deal they're trying to prevent. This would be an easy enough win for them, but something about it surprises Stallone.
It can't be.
What company?
The seller is none other than Mel Gibson.
He's dead.
No, he's just going to upstage the fuck out of half of the cast while he's around. Plot-wise, Mel Gibson plays Stonebanks, an ex-expendable who Stallone could have sworn he killed years ago. This revelation that the man is alive and a villain in this movie is enough to throw Stallone off his game and cause the entire team to need to retreat in a hurry. Don't worry though, Caesar can cover their escape.
Time to mow the lawn!
Told you, 10 seconds.
Actually, it was 17 seconds. I wish it was 10, then I wouldn't have had to edit it down to prevent it from being caught by the Content ID bot, only to have Lionsgate show up and manually set it as fucking Content ID anyway, and then only fucking after months of me disputing them and then rejecting my disputes after I tell them, fine, take it to fucking court, then they back off! Excuse me. As they escape in a reasonably over-the-top fashion, it turns out that Mel Gibson isn't taking this opportunity to evade the folks sent to kill him, but instead using it to establish his place as the big bad boss for this movie. It's actually very rare to see Mel playing a bad guy in a movie, which is kind of strange because if this film is anything to go by, he is eerily good at it. While he shot Hail Caesar, he didn't finish the man off. Of course, with how long the movie spends adding distortion effects and slowdown to the audio while he's bleeding to death, I wouldn't blame you if you thought that Terry Crews' character kicked the bucket in the first act. Hell, the movie keeps it ambiguous even after they get into the hospital, refusing to just tell the audience if the man's going to be okay.
Is he gonna make it?
I don't know.
Allegedly, while they were making the movie, Terry Crews was actually begging Stallone not to kill off his character. And he better fucking not. I mean, seriously, Gunner survived wounds far worse than that in the first movie. And if they kill off fucking Hail Caesar, then I'm gonna have to resort to fanfiction to get my fix of Hail Caesar going on galactic adventures with Newt and Johnny Cage. No time to dwell though, we need to get the rest of the plot moving, with the help of Harrison Ford playing CIA Operations Officer Drummer.
You don't have to worry about Church anymore. He's out of the picture.
He was supposed to return for this movie, and was scripted to, but for 4 days of work he was going to be paid only $3 million, and he was like, no, I want to be paid $4 million, and Stallone was like, okay, you're replaced. Why the hell do big-name actors think that they can try and haggle when they're playing minor supporting characters or heroes with masks on? Drummer is rather upset that Stallone's team failed to take the target, and lets him know that he doesn't intend to let them off until they fix the problem.
This happened on my watch. You fucked up. And I'm wearing it.
And I have a friend who is known to rip people's arms out of their sockets when things don't go his way. Still, the man is willing to give Barney one more shot as soon as they track Mel Gibson down again. In the meantime, Stallone prepares for the epic test of willpower, skill, and teamwork by kicking everyone out on their asses, disbanding the group.
It's over. We're done.
But wait! He has another plan.
What do you need? New team. Retired the old ones.
Except for me, because if you don't have double standards, what standards do you have? Bonaparte, played by Kelsey Grammer, works as Stallone's guide for the next few scenes as they hop around the world and try to get us excited for these new faces.
I could do that.
Well, at least Glenn Powell here, playing Thorne, does have some movies in his backlog that he did work on before this one, starting with Spy Kids 3D at age 15. Fucker's 5 years younger than I am. However, this is the film debut of Ronda Rousey playing Luna, the strong, independent woman who don't need no man, unless she can't find her punching bag.
Man.
Playing a character with as much personality as a rice cake. Quite unlike our next contenders, showing off by parkouring down the building, being all slick and cool, so young and hip. Except for the fact that...
Galgo, you sent me another fake resume.
it's actually someone I really want to see in an Expendables film, Antonio Banderas!
I am healthier than I look, stronger than I look, faster than I look, actually faster than
You were
anybody I
born
know.
in 1984.
Of course not, but I feel like I was born in 84.
I avoid the wrong think, and it is double plus good. Big brother is watching you, friend. Unfortunately, skill, charm, and being what I actually want is not on Stallone's list of criteria, so he flatly rejects Galgo's application and leaves his ass behind.
I need a job! All I know what to do is killing people! And I do that very well!
Could always run for office. Stallone moves on and adds Victor Ortiz to the group, playing Mars, and John Smiley, played by Kellen Lutz. Of the lot, Smiley seems to have the most character, not only having a set of skills, but a demeanor that doesn't take well to authority.
Well, you don't know me.
I know the type.
The Rebel. It's a common enough go-to for characterizing a hero. Also, the fact that he's like one of the only guys who actually has a character arc seriously edges him out on it being interesting in this film, and it also kind of helps that the actor has more film experience than all the rest of the newbies combined. Now he just has to wait until Ford gets back to him with Mel Gibson's location.
Satellite map, coordinates for where he'll be.
Well, that was easy. Turns out he's in Bucharest making a deal, and they've got 36 hours to track him down and take him in. Yes, in.
They want him alive.
Are you kidding me?
Sorry, Barney. This was the first movie in the series with a PG-13 rating. Sacrifices had to be made. It's something about war crimes and fair trials and things like that. And, the stuff we really don't care that much about getting in the way of our action movies. The end result is Stallone flies into Bucharest with his new team, along with Trent's help, because Schwarzenegger gotta keep up appearances if he wants in on that movie poster. Before long, they reach their drop point.
I can take care of myself.
Yes, you can handle yourselves. We get it. It's not that interesting. Everybody here can handle themselves. After the drop, we suddenly shift to the following day, where we see the new team working together pretty well, doing some spy movie shit to track down and confirm their target's location. Now they just have to figure out how to hit him. Strangely enough, everyone assumes Stallone intends to just kick down the door and shoot everyone, and then they hold the plan against him, even though they're the ones who thought of it.
What, kick down the door and start spraying bullets?
It's a great plan. This is 1985.
And what's that supposed to mean?
You heard me.
I'm a strong, independent woman who don't need no plan. Well, Thorne is the hacking specialist, so he points out computers are magic, and he can just shut down every security measure they have.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that. Exactly like that.
Great! Now there are dozens of people there with guns who will shoot you. You do realize that your plane hasn't disabled them, right? Yeah, I guess they'll just have to wing it. Luckily, Thorne has a fucking Pip-Boy and a little camera drone. How this helps, I don't know, but good on him! After Mel Gibson gets in place, yeah, I know he's Stone Banks, but it's fucking Mel Gibson. They kill the lights, fuck with the security, and commence Operation Shoot the Fuck Out of Everyone like it's 1985. Yeah, well, that's new tech strategery really saved them all that trouble, didn't it? In any case, the plan works like a charm, allowing Luna to drop in and tase their target, which they bring in with their windowless van. The only problem is they just kidnap Mel Gibson, who, as a villain, will have no problem upstaging absolutely everyone on set.
You're talking pretty tough to a guy who's incapacitated, which is good for you.
Does it?
Why don't you cut me loose? I'll open your meat shirt and show you your own heart.
He speaks so eloquently, with lines straight out of the goddamn Borderlands psycho's mouth.
Why don't the two of us just end this? What do you say? Mix it up. Either you snapping my spine or me snapping yours. Make it snappy.
I just love his performance and his delivery of those lines. Of course, it might not hurt, but aside from Stallone and one decent actor, he's sitting next to 3 lifeless robots. While he has everyone's undivided attention, he tells all the new guys that, hey, I used to be an expendable like you. Then I took a government contract to the knee. Seems being especially brutal was somehow frowned upon, and the rest of the team was hired to kill him. Barney shot him 3 times and left him for dead. That silly goose, he had body armor on! Unfortunately, Ross didn't check to make sure he was dead because... plot? Which is why he can't shoot him right here and now, and up until now the hacker didn't even realize that the guy had a GPS tracker on his wrist the whole time. This means their van can be very carefully blown the fuck up, freeing their hostage, but there is still one chance. I was referring to the gun you had on your holster, but I guess that works too. Thus, the new team is captured, and after coming to and killing the bad guys who tried to finish him off, Stallone finds out that the whole new team is suffering a fate worse than death. They have been transferred into a found footage film.
48 hours and they're gone for good. You want them? Come get them.
Just fucking leave them, Stallone. It's not worth the hassle.
What are you gonna do?
Wait, is he actually leaving their asses? No, he's just flown back to base so he can get some equipment, turn right back around, and go in by himself.
So you're really gonna go back?
Yeah,
Alone?
yeah.
You an idiot.
No arguments here. Who the fuck would turn down Antonio Banderas? Maybe he is learning from his mistakes, because when Galgo shows up out of the blue, begging and pleading to join him on this suicide mission, Stallone finally cracks.
Help me with the crate.
So,
And yes, I fucking love Banderas in this movie. Galgo is so damn enthusiastic, talkative, energetic. It would be very easy for a character like this to be annoying as piss, which he is for the rest of the characters, but Antonio's performance is spot on and damn entertaining in my opinion.
Can I help you up there?
You're a mechanic now?
Of course I am a mechanic. I am whatever you need me to be, sir.
Okay, then just be quiet.
This thing smells good. What is that? Is kerosene, gasoline? What is that?
Aviation fuel.
Aviation fuel.
In fact, are there any movies out there that are Banderas versus Gibson? Before they can leave to get fucking killed, the rest of the cast show up to remind us that their Expendables tattoos don't wash off, and once you're an expendable for life. Which means we can finally get back to the ass-kicking and one-liners.
Galgo, you might want to get out of that sea. Christmas is coming.
But it's June.
Galgo, get the hell out.
Only had to wait an hour for this movie to get fun again. With that, the team flies out, armed to the teeth, and even Lundgren got his hands on a Pip-Boy. How about that? Before long, they find the enemy stronghold, which is a block of ruined city. But no bother, they're able to infiltrate without a problem and locate the new guy safe and sound. Ish.
But unfortunately for you, the entire complex has been wired with C4.
There is a remote to turn off the C4. It's in one of the newbie's stomachs. You have 1 minute to cut the right one open and retrieve the key.
Sadly, that's not how it went. He merely gave them a ridiculously short amount of time to escape, guaranteeing their death. Up until Hackerman realizes the gunner has a Pip-Boy. Using the powers within, he somehow manages to hack and block the countdown on the C4, but this is one of those special hacks that needs a constant presence or else it stops working for some reason.
Battery's at 8%. When this thing dies, we lose override. That gives us about 25 minutes tops.
No problem. We're already at the 90-minute mark. There's plenty of time for your climax. With that in mind, the bulk of the enemy forces roll in and begin the big fucking climactic action sequence. Also to note, it's finally one where we see the new Expendables and the old ones actually working together, so I can't complain about feeling cheated in this scene. Except, of course, out of Terry Crews. And Schwarzenegger. And Jet Li.
Trench, on your right!
Oh, well, never mind. I'd still like Hail Caesar here, but that helps. The action is pretty damn good overall, surprisingly clean and goreless for an Expendables movie, but that's what you get with a PG-13 action movie. At least we get helicopter duels in the sky, random motocross action on the ground, and Gunner even hijacks a tank with Toll Road to do some extra damage.
Yeah! Damn, that's cool.
How hard can it be to kill 10 men? You think you could even just wound a couple?
Pretty tough. I mean, over the course of 3 movies, this team has only suffered 1 death and 1 injury.
Watch closely. And again? Anybody else? Useless bunches.
Mel, play more villains. You kick ass at it. Frustrated at his disposable goons being mowed down left and right without even getting a scratch on the good guys, Gibson heads in to take care of it himself. This makes the climax interesting, but it does still feel a little lacking. I mean, the last one spoiled us with dropped references every other line.
Good morning. Let's get to the chopper. Let's go.
That works. Though, now I'm slightly worried that the Expendables 4 is going to try and find some way to get that man to demand people put down their cookies. While everyone else moves to escape, Stallone is distracted by Mel Gibson shooting him in the fucking chest.
Come on, stand up. You feel better.
It's just a gunshot wound. Walk it off. The final battle between Stallone and Gibson is interesting enough, as the water gives it a visual element that we haven't seen in any other part of the movie. But melee combat is kinda slow and suspenseful, while the block on the C4 detonation is just about over, so they have to wrap this up. Way more fatal than the 3 shots you survived before.
What about the Hague? I am the Hague.
That can't be that fatal, though. The guy's still breathing. With this, Stallone narrowly escapes the blowing up, collapsing, and physics-defying structure, barely reaching the helicopter as it flies off. I guess we could assume Stonebanks is dead after that, but it was off-screen, so who really knows at this point. The point is, happy ending! They've taken out the bad guy. Caesar got better just in time to let us all know that if they do kill him off, it'll have to wait until next movie, and Antonio Banderas is officially added to the Expendables.
Thank God, because I already spent a fortune on this. You know what I mean?
Which I hope means he'll be included in future installments, because, well, that was the Expendables 3, and it's okay. I feel like I should point out that, in my opinion, the movie is better than what I'm sure this review is coming out to make it look like in the clips. One of the issues of trying to cram a feature film into 20 minutes. But aside from that, this particular movie is over 2 hours long, and on top of that, the original work print is said to have been 3.5 hours. There was a lot going on that had to be skimmed over both in the review and the movie itself. That may very well have been caused not only by the fact that they keep adding more members to the cast, but this one in particular introduced just about as many new characters as the first movie did. It's hard to have such a large cast work and show off their individual abilities, and have the movie show why each and every one of them is important, when the amount of them on the set gets so ridiculously big. Aside from that, though, the first half of this movie just feels incredibly slow, as it dives headfirst into heavy emotional territory, with Caesar being shot and the Expendables being disbanded, despite nobody wanting to leave, and the movie taking way too much time to show us, yeah, they don't like that very much. Action-wise, the film had spectacle going for it, but it wasn't on the same level as previous entries. It's extremely rare for the whole team to be together in one spot. They are so frickin' many, we rarely see them fighting by themselves either. Overall, the film is alright. That's pretty much it. It's just alright. It's not a terrible movie, but I will agree that it is the weakest of the series, coming in at 3 Pip-Boys out of 5. I don't think you'll regret seeing it if you must see every Expendables movie, but you're probably going to want to go back to the first and second before watching this again. Thank you all for watching. I've been Shado, and remember, if you don't have time for more than 3 characters to have growth in your 2-hour movie, don't have 50 characters.
I need a job!